Opportunities are dwindling, and time is running out for the 1UP Turbo Truck Series drivers to make it into the series playoffs. With only 2 races remaining, including this one here tonight, there's a lot of guys looking to make some big claims here tonight to make sure they are one of the 10 drivers racing for a championship in a couple weeks. And what better place to have a race like this with such high intensity than here at the Indianapolis Raceway Park, just a little ways away from the big speedway where the other series are racing this weekend, for 80 laps tonight to see which of these truck drivers are going to shine under the lights at the short track. And alongside me to bring you all the action for tonight's race is Duke and Zach. I believe this is our first time doing a truck race together. We do a lot of Nitro National Series races, but if this is our first time doing a truck race this season, then boy, this is a great one to tune into because the points battle's so tight. Everybody's fighting for something out there. Nothing is going to be left on the line at the end of this.
Oh, you're absolutely right about that. A track that's just over a half mile here in Indianapolis at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. It's a fantastic venue to really get some paint traded, on these trucks. I think that it's going to be a lot of fun to watch everybody tonight race for some playoff points, trying to get into the playoffs. Only 10 drivers make it in this series, and I think that the battle here is one of the tightest that we have seen in a while, so it is going to be a lot of fun to watch all of these guys that are within only 2 or 3 points of that cut line really beat and bang tonight on the 12 degrees of banking here at Indianapolis Raceway Park.
And you mentioned those points, which we can now give you a quick look at now. We have 5 drivers hovering around the cut line, all separated by only 11 points. Justin Whitmer, 9th in the points, down to Derek Hamill in 13th. They're all hovering around there. And you also have the likes of John McFadden, who at one point we thought was going to be a shoo-in to make the playoffs. He's only 10 above the cut line at the moment. So not a lot of opportunity for mistakes to be made like we saw out of the 98 last time out at Canadian Tire. He just needs a solid top 10, top 5 day today to boost himself into a position where he can clinch at Watkins Glen.
Absolutely. And you also have to be really careful. I mean, we've got some people in the ring, Francois Chastain, David Wells, Santi Messi. I mean, they are only, 37, 36, 29 points above that cut line. They're going to have to be careful today. A lot of things can happen, and especially Francois Chastain starting in 26th today and Santi Messi starting in 20th. I mean, those are not going to be easy positions to overcome in this race, so you really just have to be careful when you're back in the pack like that. You might run into trouble, and that lead is not going to last for long if you don't finish the race.
Absolutely, but it comes with the territory of racing on the short track. These guys are going to have their work cut out for them, but I expect them to do their best to charge their way to the front of the field, as we always tend to see here in the Truck Series. As we can now bring you the starting lineup for tonight's 80 laps of action, and DJ Curtis on pole position. He's looking to clinch a playoff spot here tonight, like the man alongside him, Paul Villalobos. He managed to do that at Canadian Tire, but Villalobos has another goal in mind tonight. He's looking to lock up the regular season championship, and with it, 15 bonus points that he can carry into the playoffs. That is going to be a big deal for him. Henry Thomas making a one-off appearance for Robbers Racing in the Truck Series, starting 3rd alongside Blaine Saylor, who's one of those guys on that cut line. He's only 2 points out at the moment, with John McFadden that we already talked about completing the top 10. But I think that the big stories are going to come from the first few rows. Curtis trying to lock up a playoff spot. Villalobos trying to clinch the regular season championship. Thomas looking to get a win in the Truck Series and lock up his triple crown for 1UP competition. And Blaine Saylor looking for his first career win to help him boost his way into the playoffs. There's a lot of big stories, and we're only talking about 4 trucks. There's 38 more right behind them.
Absolutely. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch, and it is going to happen very, very fast tonight. A very fast short track, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, with that being said, we've got 42 of 1UP Truck Series finest ready to do battle at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. We're ready to bring you that action. It is the 1UP Turbo Truck Series, the penultimate race of the regular season from IRP, and the green flag getting set to drop. Don't want to miss a second of it. Field already coming out of turn 4, starting to accelerate towards the starting line. We are racing in the Truck Series at IRP. Villalobos from the outside line is the first one to get there, but I think DJ Curtis is going to have a little bit of an advantage, at least on the opening jump, on that inside line. It's a variable groove racetrack here. You can make passes pretty much anywhere, but I think DJ Curtis is going to have the advantage, at least for now, with that 72 pushing him along.
Yeah, definitely the outside lane is viable, but early in this race with the less wear on the tires, you know, and less heat in the track, that bottom lane is going to be a little bit dominant. But we already see the 22 moving up the track a little bit, kind of into that middle groove. You can see most of the trucks kind of in that area.
Whoa, and here's a move here we got a spinner down the back straightaway. We got one sideways, and it's the 13
in the wall,
of Darren Mills, who's gone sideways off of the bumper of somebody, but I don't see a caution out for that at all. We're staying green through all this, and Mills has just lost a lot of track position and a lot of time and a lot of health to his race truck. But look at this, Villalobos down the inside of DJ Curtis going for the lead.
Yeah, and this is going to be a pretty good move, but we'll watch and see how that outside lane is. And look at the momentum off of the corner where the 22 truck on the outside, looking the 72 following through as well. You know, it's a little bit of variable banking at this track. It's a little bit more banked on that outside lane, and I'll tell you, it's working really, really good right now, early in this race.
Yeah, so far so good for the leaders, not so good for David Wells, and I believe we've had another incident down the back straightaway. Probably looking at the cause right here, Derek Hamill in the 59. He started this race in the 21st position, but he's currently running 41st. Something must have gone wrong with that 59 to drop him to the tail of the field. But we're still clearing green here at IRP, and DJ Curtis has a massive lead out front.
Yeah, looking really good right now. I mean, this is a really fascinating moment in the race. I'm not sure why more people haven't moved up to that outside lane after seeing what the leader has done. There's the 72, of course, up there trying to clear the 66, gets around just fine. They're still going to be side by side a little bit though down the back straightaway.
Yeah, but I think Henry Thomas in the 72, he's going to be able to, well, not quite. Villalobos putting up a fight here. That 66 wants to finish as high up the field as he can in order to lock up that regular season championship. He needs to leave here with a 53-point lead over, or 54-point lead rather, over his next closest challenger. And so far, he is going, as they run right now, he would do that. But as we cycle our way through lap 7 here, look at Darren Mills. He's put on a burst of speed in the last few laps. He's already about to catch the tail of the field again.
Yeah, this is an incredible pace being put on by the 72 right now. I mean, and of course the 22 as well. These two trucks just driving away from everybody else.
Yeah, here's McFadden trying to put a move on Villalobos down on the inside line. McFadden's going to have a push from David Wells in the 92, but Villalobos getting a push from Blaine Saylor in the 08. I know he wants to get a good finishing position as that 08 to put himself into the top 10 with only one race remaining after this one. Oh, and it looks like we're going to have our first retirement of the race already. That is the 11 of William Ayers. I saw some smoke pouring out of the hood of that number 11. I fear his race is already over before it really had a chance. He only started this race 41st, didn't have a chance to make much headway tonight.
No, he really didn't. That's a disappointing end. Early in this race, only on lap 10, to be out of it, that is a fairly disappointing result.
But back at the front of the field, you said it, Henry Thomas putting on a quick pace here at the front of the field. He's closing the gap. He just closed it by 0.4 of a second between himself and DJ Curtis, who leads this race. And look at that, Thomas just put the fastest lap of the race down that last time by to try and catch the 22. He ran a 23 flat. Oh, and Darren Mills is on a mission. He's either driving angry or he's focused really hard on this, because he's from about 5 seconds off the tail end of the field. He has caught them, and he's already starting to make passes.
Yeah, you know, and that truck started in this race 16th, so really got some pace in that truck, but it's a bit surprising how quick it is going with that damage from the spin earlier. I guess that, yeah, it is racing with a bit of a fury that there wasn't a yellow flag for that yellow truck back there, and we'll see how far he can get up through the field. Could be a good story.
Yeah, but right now the story is on the front of the field. DJ Curtis has about a 7/10 lead over Henry Thomas. These two have left the rest of the pack in the dust. John McFadden's a full 2.7 seconds off the lead. And unless we get a caution to tighten the field back up once again, I feel like it's going to be a battle between these two guys for the race victory tonight.
Yeah, it certainly is looking like it about 15 laps into this race now. And, it's looking like these two are the class of the field. But, like we've been saying, it is a long, long race that we have ahead of us still. So it certainly could change.
It certainly could, and we're here to bring you all the action regardless of what form it takes. But so far, it's been the DJ Curtis show out front, which is hardly a surprise. We've seen him do this countless times in the Truck Series. Bit surprising, actually, that he only has 2 wins in this series, considering the amount of dominant form he's had ever since he showed up here. But he could very well be on pace for his 3rd win here tonight. But I feel like, he's going to have to deal with that 72 before too long, because I think Henry Thomas is just closing ever so slightly, bit by bit, every lap.
Yeah, it's just barely closing. It was closing at a higher rate several laps ago, but I don't know. It seems like maybe just getting in a little bit of that dirty air through the corner has slowed that truck just slightly down. We'll see as they cross the line here.
By a 10th.
A little bit more.
By a 10th.
Yeah. So, Thomas making gains still.
So Thomas, he's doing what he can. And like I said at the top of the show, this is Thomas's only box left to check for his Triple Crown. He already has a Superstar win, even though that came a very long time ago. And he's got a bunch of Nitro National wins that he achieved last year. If he can win this race today, he'll become only the 3rd driver to win in all 3 of 1UP's main series, joining Joshua Michaels and Jake McMillan in doing so.
Yeah, that would be an incredible accomplishment. And right now, still looking like a big time gain on this lap. I know last time by lost a little bit of time, but we'll see here how close it is. But visually, it looks like it's getting significantly closer. Oh, yeah, cut that distance down by about half. So this is a big chase down here on lap 19.
And keep in mind, we still have a lot of this race to go. We're just now closing in on the 1/4 mark, and we've already had a lot to talk about here today. But DJ Curtis, he's led consistently from the jump, but Henry Thomas has just been lurking back there, waiting. Oh, but he looks like he had a little bit of a moment out of turn 4. That's going to cost him a little bit of time.
Yeah, it certainly will. It really impacted his entry down into 1, entering so shallow right there. That was kind of strange.
And we're keeping an eye on these 3 here. Wells, McFadden, and Villalobos. They're actually starting to gain a little bit on the leaders as they run. And here's a battle we're keeping our eye on. Curtis Stevenson in the 6. He's got an opportunity to lock up a playoff spot tonight. And Blaine Saylor, he's just looking to get into the top 10 so he can have a chance at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is it is just so close at the cut line, so that is a truck that really needs a good result today. Had a good starting position and lost some spots early in this one, trying to gain them back now.
Yeah, and he's by far and away the highest running Team Duke truck at the moment in 7th place. He's had a very impressive season up to this point. He's got a very high number of top 10s this season, and he's been knocking on the door of a win the last couple weeks, and it might not come tonight, but I expect him to get one relatively soon, if not before the season's out.
Yeah, I've been really proud of the progress that truck has made all year. Started off a little bit weak, but they really found their rhythm, and now absolutely knocking on the door of a playoff spot. And it is really impressive to see what that 08 truck has done for the remainder, like the second half of the season. Really has been very good. So we'll see about today, running in 7th right now, possibly with a shot to gain some more spots.
Oh, and looks like we got one slow going into turn 1. It's Dennis Kadiyashov in the 99. He slowed dramatically. Looks like he's got some sort of issue with the truck. I'm not sure, but that is going to put us under the caution for the first time tonight, because the 99 has pulled over to the side of the track, and this is going to be a big battle to see who gets the lead on the caution flag. Looks like Curtis is just going to hang on.
Yeah, that was maybe a lucky break for the 22 truck, because that 72 was right there breathing down the neck of that 22 machine for the lead. And look how close they were to the back of the field. That was going to make things pretty interesting as well. But now we've got the caution out. Everyone is going to bunch back up, and we'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, I was a little alarmed to see that 3 truck, Santee Messi, that far down the order. He was in the 30s
I was
when
too.
we
Yeah.
checked in on him. He started this race in 20th, so maybe the truck's just not to his liking. And with no opportunities to adjust on it, he's going to be stuck like that for a little while, I'm afraid. But focusing back in on this 99, he entered this race only +2 on the cut line. This is really, really going to hurt his chances to make the top 10. So he was running at the tail anyway, alongside the 3 of Messi, who's got the 44 right there. I think his main problem starts right about here. Yeah, I think a tire let go on that thing because there's no smoke coming out of it. There's no smoke coming out of it. It backed up his teammate a little bit in the 13. But the absence of smoke tells me that's a tire problem, and it was apparently significant enough for him to pull down to the side of the track and just let the rescue vehicles come to his aid. That's very bizarre.
Yeah, I haven't seen something quite like that, but good to keep it off the wall, I'd say.
And he's going to live to fight another day, even though he will be 2 laps down at the end of this. Yeah, he's going to be 2 laps down, but I think he's going to be pretty much okay when this is all said and done. If he gets a couple of cautions, who knows? Because he's the only one a lap down at the moment. He might still be able to fight his way back later on. But we're about lap 20. We're cycling lap 26 right now. We're under our first caution of the day. DJ Curtis has led every lap so far. Henry Thomas in second place.
Yeah, and it's also important on the topic of that 99 truck. It's important to stay in this race. If anybody else has an issue, you can still gain positions. We got plenty of race left here for more things to happen, especially with a restart coming up on a short track. I mean, this is going to be a little bit chaotic here. We're not totally sure who is going to make it through this okay or not. So it's definitely good to stay in the race, even though he's 2 laps down.
And here I want to give a little call to the guy who's normally in the booth with S40's truck races, Ryan Griffin.
Yeah.
He's making his first Truck Series start of the season for his own race team, a new second entry for Great Lakes Motorsports in the number 17. He started this race in about 12th. He's fallen back to 15th, but for the first time out for this race team, a very solid job and giving a great opportunity to Jesse Turner, who will be behind the wheel of this truck next time out at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, really, really solid run for that 17 truck right now. Good to see. And Great Lakes Motorsports having a good time.
And right behind him, one spot behind him, in fact, is James Ellison, a hometown driver from Indiana. He's running all 3 races this weekend, as a matter of fact, here in the truck, in his number 30, in this Nitro National team, car number 11, and obviously his main gig, the Superstar race, coming up later this weekend in the number 3. But that's a very busy schedule, but he is ready for it, though. I'm sure he loves racing in Indianapolis, and I'm sure he's going to do just fine. We're looking a little further back now. Julio Caesar from the Superstar Series running in 22nd. Got a few spots further back. You see Vince Freeze, who's had an up and down start to his career here. Santee Messi at the back, like I said, not ideal for him at all, as we get the 1 to go signal this time. We were hoping for that, as it looks like Joshua Warren actually made a pit stop under that yellow to change a blown tire of his own. Okay,
well, that's good that the caution came out then for them. You don't want to be out there with a blown tire, as we just saw, so that's good.
And since we get the 1 to go signal, the 99 will pull up into the inside line. He is the only truck 1 or more laps down. He's actually 2 down as it stands, but a few quick yellows and he'll be right back into the thick of it on fresher tires. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But right now, our focus is on Curtis and it is on Thomas as we get ready for the restart, which will come at lap 30.
Yes, 22 truck going to be in an interesting position with the 99 just low, taking the green flag to restart this race. And here we go. 22's got to get clear of the 99 into this corner. Not quite enough, but the 72 is right there with him. But here's the 92 on the bottom trying to look for the second spot.
Yeah, David Wells, he followed the 99 down there. He seems to think that the fresher tires on the 99 is going to help him find his way through, but that may be ill-advised because, look, John McFadden's now getting back around him for 3rd place. And look, now Curtis and Thomas, they're definitely clear of the 99 here.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, the outside lane, very, very strong right now. This track has started to come alive out up top. And I'll tell you what, I think that 99 truck just not at the same pace as our leaders right now. I guess it makes sense. He was running kind of mid-pack, but this is really going to be a challenge for all of these trucks to get through and try to pass that 99, causing a big holdup right now.
Yeah, and he's the cork in the bottle right now, and Blaine Saylor's decided he's had enough. He's going to jump up high, the 66 likewise. But it looks like the top three have started to break away from the rest of the field, with Curtis, Thomas, and McFadden running 1, 2, 3. David Wells still trying to fend off the 66. Blaine Saylor trying to get back past Stevenson. And Rhodes Gray, we haven't mentioned his name yet so far in this race. He's trying to make a move on Braden Varga, making his 4th truck appearance of the season.
Yeah, this is a good, interesting racing right now. And here's a good battle. Look at this textbook move, cut to the inside through turn 4 right there. And it's just not going to be enough. Coming out of the corner, that outside lane, really, really strong. Especially that 72 truck is just on rails.
Yep, we're cycling lap 34 right now. McFadden, I think he needs to realize his race is trying to gain as many points on that cut line as possible. He has a win this season, so he can fall back on that to hopefully give him some bonus points if he can make the top 10. It's just a matter of whether he can stay there or not, as the gap between the top 2 is starting to come down bit by bit. It's just under half a second.
Yeah, he's in a really good spot right now, running 30s ahead of everybody else that is near him on the cut line. And also, he's gaining a lot of points on Santi Messi, who's having a pretty tough day right now. And of course, the 99 truck is also having a pretty bad day. So the 98 looking really good as far as the points go here to gain a lot of points in this race on that cut line.
Well, look at this. Henry Thomas is caught up to DJ Curtis in a big way. He's falling in the tire tracks of that 22. I'm very curious to see how this is going to play out over the course of the next few laps, because I think here he comes. Thomas, he does pull out. And I think...
Wow, what a big move.
Yeah, if he didn't send Curtis up the racetrack with the front bumper, he came awful close, but now they're going to be side by side down the back straightaway.
Yeah, this is going to be a great battle through this corner, but I think the outside lane is just going to be a little bit stronger. Maybe it won't, because the 72, a power move around the inside, and this is a side-by-side drag race down the front straightaway, too, and another big lunge down into turn 1 for Henry Thomas, and we'll see. Can he make it? He cleared it. I think he clears him right here. He didn't go up, but he cleared him.
Well, this is going to be important, because if he gets by the 22, he needs to clear himself up as soon as he can to prevent the counter move from the 22, but he doesn't. He stays down there. There's something about that inside line he seems to like, but the problem he's got is Curtis just keeps pulling up to his outside again.
Yeah, and look at behind what has showed up behind these two trucks as they race side by side. The rest of the field has gained.
Oh, but we've got caution out again.
The caution's out.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And it's the 77 of Di Lorenzo involved this time. It's a drag race back to the yellow flag. Not so much. Henry Thomas is easily going to get the lead back to the yellow flag. But Johnny Di Lorenzo, he was doing a pretty good job. He was in the top 15. Now his race looks to be over.
Yeah, that doesn't look very good for the 77 truck. We'll have to take a look at what happened in a minute here. But, yeah, that was a great battle that we had brewing for the lead. I hope that the second half of this race looks a little bit like that did, because that was very, very fun to watch.
And this quick caution, it's going to benefit the 99 as well. Dennis Kudryashov, he gets the free pass. He'll get one of his 2 laps back, and who knows, if he gets another one, he might even be back into the thick of this on his fresher tires. Who knows?
Certainly good.
But not so good for Johnny Di Lorenzo, who was, like I said, he was having a really strong day. He started this race, checking my notes here, he started down in 30th, so he made a big charge through the field up to the top 15, and now it's all over. So here he was. The 77 was just outside the top 10, doing a super job cutting his way through the field. He's about to make a pass here on Clayton Sessom. Oh, but the 17 makes a big dive, and I don't think he was expecting the 77 to come up that much.
No, that was some really hard impact, too, into the outside wall. No safer barrier right there here at IRP. You don't really see a hit much harder than that here, so that's a incredible moment for the 77. Good to see him rolling after that.
Yeah, it's a tough break for both those guys. They were having pretty good days. The 17 will be able to continue, but for Johnny Di Lorenzo, it's game over. one more look at this, and I'm curious if the 17 just doesn't expect. No. I think he tried to fill it back in the hole, and I think the 77 was close enough that he wasn't able to fill in that hole. That's going to be a tough break for Di Lorenzo. Like I said, he started this race so far down the field, and he was making good headway. And now the 17's race is in a bit of trouble because he's down in about 27th place.
You know, after he made that move to the bottom, it just kind of was out of space there, had to let off, and then the 17 really just didn't know that all that was going to be happening. So anyway, we've gotten the wave around signal there for the 99, so he'll go around and be one lap down. So he's still going to start up by the leaders.
No, he won't. He took the free pass. He starts tail end of the line.
Tail end now. All right.
So it might be a good thing for him, honestly, if he can just stay out of trouble, hang out back there, catch a quick yellow. He'll get a second free pass. But
yeah, because he wasn't running faster than the leaders.
No.
We saw that. So, that probably will be a solid spot to be. Really safe back there. Well, you'd hope at least.
Well, we've got half a lap to the restart with Henry Thomas out in the lead of this race. DJ Curtis running in second. David Wells, his teammate, right behind him in third. McFadden falls to fourth for this restart. And Villalobos now completes the top five. So I'm very curious to see how the rest of this plays out. We're about to find out, aren't we? Because the green flag is about to get this race back underway once again. Here we go.
All right, the 72 out front this time. The 22 sitting in the second spot. So this is going to be fascinating. It's a role reversal for these two on the restart. So DJ Curtis going to try his best to get by. I think it's going to be critical to get by early and then not.
Oh, but his teammate.
Pass. But yeah, as that happens, here comes David Wells from right behind going for that second spot. This is the first time we've seen somebody else in the top two positions possibly today.
Yeah, and they're all starting to gang up on the 22 a little bit. Maybe that truck just isn't handling well in dirty air like he was earlier on, because he is starting to fade a little bit. Down the order, Villalobos now alongside him. Oh, man, and the 98 just sent him up into the third lane. That's not going to work very well for him, so he backs out of that, lets the 98 go. The 6 is going to get past as well, and here comes the 19.
Yeah, and the 08 behind as well, and this is looking a little bit like a disaster for the 22 truck, who has now lost a ton of positions, who went from leading this race just before that caution to now all the way back in the 7th position and losing more and more spots. That truck has got some issues right now, and I'm not sure how they're going to solve it. We're running out of time in this race.
Yeah, we're closing in on 30 laps to go, and we got two Team Duke teammates right here, Braden Varga and Blaine Saylor, trying to get past him as well. I think the 02, his other teammate, AF Walsh, I think he's going to let the 22 in line if he gets the chance. He's trying to back up the 10 to prevent him from getting in. Yes, the 02 lets the 22 in line, and that will be in 8th place. So Curtis has found a spot to ride for now. The problem is he is 8th place, 4.5 seconds off the lead.
Yeah, that is a devastating loss of position on that restart. Ooh, everybody kind of going a little bit low down the back straightaway, and we'll see. Looks like the 19 is going to have a shot. Braden Varga around the outside lane to make something happen. Not going to be able to take the position, however.
No, it's hard to complete a pass here. It's easy to get close to a guy and set up a pass, but we've seen some good racing here, though, regardless, as now McFadden takes a look to the inside of Villalobos for what will be 3rd place. But it looks like the 66 will be able to hold on. Like I said, I interrupt myself. We got a caution out again. Looks like it's for this group back here that has a lot of damage, and that's the break the 99 needed. He's going to get a second one. He's going to get back on the lead lap in all this.
Wow, an incredible comeback for the 99, and that is not what any of these other drivers right on the cut line wanted to see. That 99 having a bad day was good for a few people, but now the 99 back in the game with some fresh tires.
Fresher. Yeah,
fresher tires.
I saw a couple trucks back there with damage. Vince Freeze in the 81, Ryan Vasquez in the 41. being the ones I saw that had the most. I'm very curious to see how this one played out, because there were a lot of trucks back there that were very much off pace. I feel like they all kind of piled into each other. Darren Mills again with nowhere to go. Ramashko in the 44. And here's Vasquez. I think he had the biggest hit of all in that instant, because he's the only one coming to pit road to address it.
Yeah, I agree. At 41, just take the hood off of that thing and let him roll. I think that's probably a good call for that team. Not going to lose a lap on the pit lane because of that. So we'll get a look at what happened here.
So we're looking at Vasquez. Is that where it starts? No, it starts up ahead of him. Vince Freeze gets into Josh Gibson, gets sent down into the inside wall, comes back up the track and into everybody's path. That's Reggie Fogelman in the 0. Lassard drives that car in the Nitro Series. I get them confused. Audrey Anzac with a piece of it. Ramashko, Mills, Vasquez. It looks like 6 trucks involved in that, 7 if you count the 58.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that 83 truck really needed a good run today to have any sort of shot at sneaking into the playoffs. A couple of good runs for the 83 would have done it, and that is absolutely not.
So yeah, this is a free wide situation that just did not pay off, because, yeah, I don't know what to make of that, because Carter gets a piece of that. Oh man, big hit for Vince Freeze. And he comes back up the track, because where else is there to go, really? The 88 got a piece of it as well, so both the Fair & Co trucks with a little bit of damage, they're both going to be able to continue. Everybody's going to be able to continue from this, some a little worse for wear than others, but I think Freeze and Vasquez got the worst of it.
But here we've got the free pass for the 99 once again. So the 99 going to go around everybody on the field, start in the tail end of the field, but this time from the lead lap. So we'll see what that team is able to do for the rest of this race, possibly make up some spots. Still plenty of time left to make up some spots, so that's a dream situation for them.
Yeah, I'm just curious how many laps we're going to spend under caution here. We had a lot under that first incident, which I was a little confused about. Maybe it was to pick up some tire debris off the racetrack, but we're looking now. See the lights on the safety vehicle. They have gone out, which is good. So we're going to go back racing with 25 laps to go. Hopefully, this will be the final restart of the race.
Yeah, I agree. We'll be racing on lap 56 after we go green here, and 72 out ahead. And now with a different group of challengers from behind. Of course, we've seen the 66 a little bit up front today, but only earlier in this race. We'll see what happens. And after several restarts, these tires, they're going through a couple heat cycles. They're going to feel pretty different. I'm wondering if that's what happened to the 22 on the last restart. We'll see if it happens to anybody else again on this one.
Well, the pace truck's pulled off. It leaves us in the hands of Henry Thomas, David Wells, and here we go, back underway. And we got a couple pushing a little out of line, trying to make a move. And Wells wasting no time trying to get underneath Henry Thomas. He went for it right away.
No, I'll tell you what, that 92 truck, that's exactly how he got the second position on the last restart. So now we watch him on the inside. Is he going to get to stay there? He won't. But now he's going to cross back over, and he's going to try to get underneath on the straightaway, but it's not going to be enough. And now under challenge from Villalobos. So this is a fascinating battle. The 92 almost had him, but just not enough.
I think Villalobos, I know he wants to win this race to get 5 more bonus points, but I think he's conceded at this point that he doesn't have a race-winning truck under him, or at least not yet. What he might be trying to do here is trying to hold this 92 back and the 98 as well. That he might be trying to hold these guys back, let the 72 get as big a lead as he can, and try and make this race a fight between the teammates.
It possibly could be that. So this is an interesting scenario that we have building here. It's a little bit different than I expected it to go, but here we are on lap 58, and the 72, the 66, 92 out front. We're going to see who's able to get to the line first. It's going to be fascinating to see how they get there.
We actually have all 3 Robbers Racing trucks in the top 5, courtesy of Curtis Stevenson in the 6, who was fastest in practice earlier this week. So great run from the 6. If he finishes there, he'll probably clinch a playoff spot for good measure, and that'll put both of the full-time Robbers trucks in the playoffs as well. But we've got 21 laps to go. Villalobos trying to track down his teammate, just pad their positioning over the 92 of Wells, but Villalobos had a little moment out of turn 2. That's going to cost him a lot of time.
Yeah, it will, and it's going to cause that shallow entry. We've seen that a couple of times from a few trucks just a little bit loose out of the corner. You got to chase it down there, and by the time you're done chasing that truck and getting it straight again, you're already in the next corner, just how it goes at a short track. So it's kind of a fascinating dynamic we've had, and there's the 66 again going a little bit low, and now going to have to defend that outside lane against the 92.
Yeah, I think at this point he knows he doesn't have a race-winning truck anymore. So what he's going to try and do, he's going to play a good teammate. He's going to block this 92 as long as he can get away with, and try and let the 72 build as big a lead as he can, so that when the 92 does pass Villalobos, he's going to have a huge gap to try and break.
Yeah, and this is going to be a big challenge to hold off the 92 truck that is just finding the outside lane right now. And there he goes to the outside. A big momentum down the straightaway and now into the turns 1 and 2. And this is going to be interesting down the back straightaway. We've seen the outside lane be a little bit stronger through 3 and 4, and we've seen it again. But now staying out there side by side through 3 and 4, a little bit higher up the track, get on the throttle sooner, drive that momentum down the straightaway. We're going to watch it here in the 92, just powering with a bit of help from behind past the 66. A great move from David Wells.
Yes, but the problem he's got now, he's 3.2 seconds off the lead, so he has to put the pedal down, run qualifying laps the rest of this race to try and make up the difference, because we're coming up on 16 laps of racing to go. If he focuses hard enough and if he puts together the lap times, he could get there by the end, especially if he puts in a lap like that.
Oh my gosh, yeah, 4/10 faster on that lap. I was about to say he was running about a half lane higher than our leader was, and that's probably going to help him a little bit. He needs to really, really put the pedal to the metal, like you said, and get some time back from the 72, and that was a huge gain the first lap that he had free of those cars. We'll see what this one is.
Oh, he lost
some time. Yeah, so I wonder if the 72, they probably told him that the 92 was running a little bit up the track, making up a ton of time. So 72 moves up a little bit, matches it, and even betters it on the next lap. Yeah, look at how high he was running.
And here's the thing I'm noticing about Henry Thomas at IRP. He ran this race last year. He was terrible. He was running in the 30s the entire time. Also for Robbers Racing. So something must have happened to... He must have learned from that, and he must have learned from his time in the Superstar Series. He's putting some good work in.
Oh, absolutely. This 72 truck has been fantastic today. The only truck we've seen so far get up front and then kind of stay up front. The 22 fell back a little bit. The 66 is down to 5th now. However, he is continually now losing time lap after lap to the 92 truck. Right now, I don't think it's enough time for a lot of concern, but that can change very, very quickly.
And meanwhile, DJ Curtis having a bit of a rough time in the back end of the top 10. He's fighting AF Walsh right now for 9th place, and he's got a whole host of trucks back here trying to make some gains on him. Rhodes Gray, Clayton Sessom, and Chastain. He started in 26th, like you said at the top of the show. He's now clawed his way up to the top 15. And how about this 25, who started this race down in 24? She's cracked the top 10 quite handsomely, running in 7th.
Yeah, that's great for the 25. Samantha Jade sitting there 50 points behind the cut line. It's a big gap to make up, but a run like this is exactly what you're going to need, especially on a day where some people ahead are having a couple of issues. So really, really good for the 25 truck, just staying alive, keeping that thing in the game for the rest of the season. Possibly give yourself a chance here. Really good run.
Yeah, so far so good, for sure. But, we're in the final 10 laps now. It's hard to believe. These laps click off pretty quickly when you're not cycling them under caution. But notice Villalobos, he's fallen down to 5th place. I think he's starting to run out of racetrack at the moment, because he's fallen quite a ways off, actually, as Curtis has fallen out of the top 10 entirely. But we're into the final 10 laps now. The gap is still over 2 seconds. I think the 72 might be okay.
Yeah, he's taken about 6 laps to gain just less than a second on the 72. So we'll see if he's going to have to gain more than a tenth each lap. He's probably going to have to gain 2 to 3 tenths every lap to have a shot at passing him on the last lap, and there's another tenth gained. So it's kind of 1/10 faster every single lap, just not going to be enough. Not enough time left in this race for it to happen
Well,
at that
here's
rate.
something that could play a factor in it. We got lap traffic that could be
That's
a factor.
true.
And speaking of the back of the field, this 99, he's gotten 2 free passes today. He's passed about a quarter of the field so far. He's up to about 31st now.
Oh, very disappointing news, especially for that driver right there in the 3 truck, Santi Messi, who really has been having a tough day today. Needed some other people behind in the standings to have some trouble, and that 99 is making up for the trouble early in the race. So that is a tough news for several drivers. However, 99 having a great comeback after all those issues early.
Yeah, it's pretty good to see out of that 99. And remember Watkins Glen's the next race. We saw how good he was at Canadian Tire. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with still for those final playoff spots. But we're coming up on 5 laps to go. And Wells has started to close in a little bit more. He's got the gap down to 1.6 seconds now. We'll see what it is at the line here. Yeah, about another half.
Yeah, it's just not enough. Just not enough.
Unless the 72 starts to catch the lap traffic.
You know, and it might start to impact that 72 truck a little bit earlier than we might think. You know, we've seen a little bit of dirty air issues today with just going through the corners, not having enough downforce. It's a pretty quick track we have here, and wow, that was a big gain from the 92. So we might be seeing some impacts from the back of the pack right now on our leader with that dirty air, allowing the 92 to catch up. But we do not have a lot of laps left in this race. There's only going to be 3 to go as we cross the line here.
Yeah, this is going to be close, but I think Henry Thomas is, as long as he keeps his wits about him, he's going to be okay, because at the gap across the line that time, it didn't really gain at all. So I think as long as the 72 takes his time and picks his way through these trucks carefully, I think he's going to be okay.
They're racing each other up there. They're 2 wide, you know, about to go 3 wide, racing for position. I mean, I'm not sure if they're going to be all too kind to our leader coming through. He's just going to have to not catch them, I think.
No, but he doesn't have a choice. He's catching them whether he wants to or not.
Yeah, because the 92, oh boy, this is going to be interesting for the last couple of laps. Look at how much they're racing. I mean, they're all over this track.
And we're coming to the white flag right here. This is going to be intense for Henry Thomas to try and navigate. He's only 1 lap away from his first win in the trucks, and he pulls one to the inside. Oh, but Freeze and Ramashko get together. They're into the wall. That's going to give the 72 a big cushion to handle over the 92.
Wow, life flashing before your eyes right there for the 72, but he keeps the lead with no caution.
And coming through 3 and 4 for the final time, Triple Crown achieved for Henry Thomas, who is finally going to get that Truck Series win he's been long awaiting. He gets it at IRP, the track that plagued him so badly last year. First career truck win, and now he's got wins in all 3. He joins McMillan and Michaels as the only drivers to do that. And imagine how things would have worked differently if those 2 trucks had just came back down into his path.
I know, that was an intense moment. I mean, the final lap of the race, and you've got lap trucks crashing in the wall right in front of you. I mean, that, as the leader, that has got to be absolutely terrifying. But, hey, a fantastic job. Hold that wheel nice and steady through the corner, and then go ahead and take the checkered flag. That is a fantastic ending to the race. Wow.
And we got a couple guys who have locked up playoff spots with this finish. Curtis Stevenson in 4th place. He's locked up a spot. AF Walsh, he finished 10th. He's going to race for a championship later this year. And I know it's not the finish DJ Curtis was hoping for. He faded all the way back to 12th at the end. But that is still good enough. He will also be racing for a title in 2025 to defend his championship from a year ago.
Wow. Great job from all those drivers. That's going to be a big relief for all of them. Coming out of this race, and you know, not any of those drivers were the winners today. However, they are now able to focus forward on that championship battle that'll take up the rest of the season.
Yeah, that is going to be absolutely epic to see. But keep in mind as well, we still have one more race until we decide our championship caliber drivers, and it's at Watkins Glen International, the second and final road course of the Turbo Truck Series season. That's going to be a lot of fun because we've got the 99 truck on the ropes here, and he's definitely going to be looking forward to making a comeback out there. But until we see it there, from Dugansack and from myself as well, thanks so much for joining us for a really good race at IRP. It's a lot better than we've seen in years past, and for Henry Thomas, it can't get much better. He is a winner for the very first time in the trucks. He's got wins in all three, and that's going to boost his spirits a little bit heading into the Brickyard 400 this Sunday.